and welcome to the Point to Rise show. This is your host, Suzanne Prochelle, former international ballerina that found her passion in mindset, business, and technology, and is today the founder of Rise Media. It is my purpose to use all the experiences of my past to create a better, financially sustainable future for the performing arts industry. And that starts with every single one of us. I believe that being you is your superpower. And I am here to guide you, empower you, inspire you, and give you all the resources you need to rise above what you think you're capable of. Every week, I'll bring you free shows featuring guests, collaboration, and mini episodes to ensure that you have the support in your journey as a performer. I want you to know that you are not alone. Stop chasing and start creating. Your success starts now, here with you. So let's go. Hello and welcome back. Thanks so much for tuning in. Every day is a good day to learn something more about the world. So before I get started and talk to you about something that happened in the world and how I see it relating to the performing arts, I just want to remind you of two things. So one, Rachel and I are holding another workshop. We're doing that on the 30th of April. The topic is focus on your focus. I know it sounds really funny. If you remember the movie, what was that, Karate Kid? Your focus needs more focus. I think there is so much truth in that, and we both think that way. So that's why we're holding actually a workshop around focus and how we actually can strengthen our focus and what the outcome will be. And when you are signing up for it, you can go to either into the show notes, into her bio, into my bio. The link will be in there. And if you haven't heard yet, Rise Media launched its very first own newsletter. I have been coming across all of these beautiful newsletters that are out there, and I thought there's really nothing out there that speaks to the performing arts itself and maybe draws the bridge between what is going on in the world and how that affects performing arts altogether. What can we learn from it? How can we act around it? And how perhaps can we do things better as a performer or just as a human being? So in less than 7 minutes, you will have the content that you need for the day to know what's going on and make your decisions based on that. So all you have to do is go to risemedia.group website, sign up. It's completely free, no hooks, no grannies, everything is totally free. It's up to you. It will just land in your inbox. All right, I think I did it. Okay, so, and I've written about this in today's newsletter that if you don't have it in your inbox yet, go check or go sign up for it. There's this phenomenon that I have been seeing over the past 6 months, the more and more I'm learning about the startup world. A big FinTech, so they're in finances, basically in financial technology. It's a very in name, a very buzzword that's being used, and they basically reinvented or I would say cut out the resistance in how you pay when you go shop online. Okay, startup Cert in 2022. Raised all together all the way up to their Series A, B, I believe, $124.5 million. And they announced on last Tuesday, that they're closing their doors. Now, how on earth do you go through $124 million in 2 years as a startup business? That is a great question. And I mean, when I look at their financials, I know why, but let's go a little bit deeper. So when we're looking at the top layer first, it is basically spending 10 million in 2021 every single month and only making 600,000 revenue, not profit. I'm talking revenue, a year. So you do the math. I think we all can do that. Their burn rate, what they're going through on a monthly basis requires a higher income, right? But there is this myth out there that in order to grow a company, you have to spend a lot of money. And where I agree with that, I feel that when you are making something like, what is that, 50,000 a month, having 450 employees, first of all, might not be the right amount, and or they weren't led the right way, because with 450 employees, you could build a company like that, a FinTech company that, doesn't give your data away, has all the whistles and bells to be a really attractive, very user-friendly company to be, taking off like a rocket ship. It just seemed so that there were more words and action behind it. So when we're taking 450 employees, and please, these are just assumptions. I was not in their boardrooms. I was not in their meetings. I don't know what the employees did. It is simply just, here's where we are at, here's where we're started, and here are the things that could happen in between. And how does that translate into the performing arts? I will get there, I promise you. So when you have 450 employees and they are eating basically all of the raised money through, and as they should, because they're investing their time, what are they doing on a daily basis? Do they have the tools and the knowledge, and are they set up for gaining more business? Because that's what it really is. Did the money go into keeping the company alive, or was it invested for really quick, high growth? Because in 2021, that company called Fast was not only backed by Stripe, but it also, where was I going? It also was evaluated as a $1 billion company. Now that's called a unicorn status that not many companies want, but it makes them also very attractive, because you can make a company that has an evaluation or a valuation like that pretty big, pretty fast, with the right key people in the right seats. Now, my question here also is, what did the board do? What did their investors do? Was there no follow-up? Why was it okay to spend all of this money on a monthly basis with not much revenue coming in? So these are all the questions that we're seeing that are rising up for me. And here's the thing. When I look at performing arts organizations, and when I compare them with startups, there isn't really, I want to say that there is nothing wrong with burning cash quickly, as long as you have a plan and an exact moment where all of that cash is coming back in, and then some, so you can build your company up. Okay. So I don't see that kind of, I would say, mindset within the performing arts. And I think it would be a good way to be implemented. And as this company, and this is not the only example, we just heard about it because it was such a hyped up, beautiful, in Tampa Bay, established, glorious unicorn, that everybody thought that this is going to be the new Stripe, for example. It's because not too many people held the right people accountable, I would say. I don't think there was enough transparency around it. Just from reading the articles, there's a really good article on NPR where employees actually talk. It's in a newsletter. I'll link the article to it. So if you haven't signed up, go and do that right now. And it is so intriguing to see that, from what we're hearing over and over and over again, that the investment world is so harsh and sharp, and you have to have all of your ducks in a row. But please, how can something like that happen? And when $124 million go down the drain, that will enlighten some really wealthy people that could potentially also invest into the performing arts from their cash, and they are now more hesitant to invest or to give, for that matter, because we all know that when you give money to the arts, it's not really an investment. You're giving it as a tax deductible donation, meaning you're not really seeing anything from it. And when money goes out like that and hope for a big return, and that return is not coming in, then people are starting to close their wallets. Okay. So this is for me a great example to say, hey, isn't it for us the time to let those big boys just play with their fintech companies and do their investments? But how about arts organization take matters back into their own hand? Understanding that an arts organization not necessarily has to be a not-for-profit. I mean, it is lovely to have that status, and there are some beautiful benefits to it. And I'm not saying you should give up your status. What I'm saying, though, is you can go and make money. And if you listen to last week's episode, I talked about the status of the non-for-profit and how we interpret it and how it actually really was meant to be. So if you haven't listened to it, go back to it. So where am I going with this? I think that business or arts, we all should be more responsible, not afraid, responsible, and hold other people responsible. For example, there is something that investors always ask for, and that's a data room where all of your financials live. So we way back, had these big folders where all the papers were in. Now just imagine that as a digital space. It's basically a digital huge folder, beautifully organized and labeled and tagged and easy to access to everyone that has access to it, so they can go through all of these informations, basically financials, tax returns, KPIs, key performance indicators, meaning that shows you how you're tracking in your business. Where can you adjust? We don't have that in the arts. And my question is, why don't we? It is such a beautiful, easy thing to have. It would make applying for grants so much easier. It would be, well, even if you're adjusting your business and starting to, establish multiple revenue streams, that is a really, really important thing to have. So I believe that all of these smart business people on the board should ask better questions. They should hold the administration, the executive directors, and even the artistic director accountable for these kind of business measures that work in the business world. So why wouldn't they work for the performing arts? That was a ramble. I needed to get it out. I'm really more and more, the more I'm learning, really also learning that whatever happens in the business world can be connected to what is happening in the performing arts, or how it perhaps could potentially affect the performing arts later on, and what can we learn from it. Like, there is no longer a separation in these industries. And I think the faster we're building that bridge and the faster we're walking on that bridge, the better and the greater performing arts organizations will be able to reach people, impact people, and make a difference in this world. Okay, if this was something that you have a lot of question about, because I threw a lot of business terminology your way, please DM me. Feel free. I'll make some social media about so you can understand more. If you want to hear more about this, also let me know so I know what really lights you up and what you want to learn more about. And sign up to the newsletter, because that is a good way. If you're not somebody that likes to listen to people talking or don't enjoy my ramble, which I understand, there's definitely something to read out there. So I am sending you so much love. Thank you for being here. Until next time, bye. Thank you so much for listening. If this message resonates with you, please pass it on to someone who needs to hear this right now. And if you like what you've heard, your feedback will go a very long way. If you just take 30 seconds and leave me a 5-star review, that would mean the world to me. Till next time, point at yourself to rise to all that you are capable of.